I heard you have an update, and it has to do with your
Um,
yapper.
it does have to do with my yapper. I found out, Maggie, after all these years, that my jaw is double jointed. Can you believe
Incredible.
that?
I can. I can
Just
believe
like
that.
my arms and my elbows, so is my jaw.
Wait, open your mouth right now.
Well, when I do it, I have to work it
Oh.
because it overextends. So
Ah!
you watch the way I did that.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody's
Um,
listening that's going to go pop on YouTube. You know, I can also stick my hand in my mouth.
well, I'll believe it when I see it.
To quote Phoebe from Friends, I'm very bendy.
You are very bendy. Speaking of bending, I'd love to twist and turn through the last 4 episodes of The West Wing with you.
I would love that. I'm ready. Are you going to clap?
I will. One,
Okay.
2, 3. Hi, I'm Maggie,
And I'm Amanda.
and we're sisters in law.
And we're watching the beloved political procedural, The West Wing. It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late. Thanks so much for tuning in.
It's only show fans. Only show fans. It's only show fans. Only show fans.
This is season 1, episodes 13 through 16 of The West Wing. Hold for applause.
Woo! That was amazing.
Ah, West Wing! Maggie, another 4 episodes. They really pack a punch.
They do. And you were right. And I know that this is just the beginning, but you were right that seeds were being planted in the first 4 episodes that have now woven their way all the way through episode 16. And we are just over the halfway mark of this season. I had no
Woven in.
idea what was
What a
coming.
treat. I know. I know you didn't. There's going to be a lot of times where you're not going to know what's coming in this show. And then it'll be here and you'll be like, oh, didn't see that coming.
It's true.
I am quickly pulling up my notes because I have a lot of notes.
Yeah, I was
please.
trying not to take. I was like, gosh, I could just write down everything that's happening in these 4 episodes. I was like, there's so much happening, and so much of it is so good, and I'm trying to just like let it sit and then think what stayed with me from the episode.
Yeah,
But
I am
dang,
curious because this is another set of like 4 where da 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 dang, are you kidding me? Dang. You know?
the dang, bitty 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 bump the boogie the bump the booty.
Yeah, I don't think we do that song anymore. Were you doing Kid Rock?
Oh, is that Kid Rock?
Yeah, Ball with the Ball.
That was Limp Bizkit, but it is Kid Rock.
Yeah, I think
Just
that's
cut it out. Edit
okay.
it
I'll
out.
cut it out. We'll cut it
Who
out.
even? That's so annoying. Things getting ruined by people. You know, that's like so annoying. That's
I
so
know, right?
annoying that people have to like go and ruin things that I enjoy in a moment. I'm not like listening to that song, but sometimes I just want to enjoy making a
Right.
little rant.
Right?
I hate when people do stupid stuff and then ruin it. R. Kelly remixed to Ignition. What a good song that was.
It was. Now we had to remix him out of our lives.
I was watching Space Jam with my kids, the original. I believe I can fly. And then I was like, this is such a great song. And then I was like, wait a second, I can't even enjoy this song anymore.
I know. I know. How do you feel about the fact that we can now enjoy Michael Jackson again?
Can we though? Can
I
we?
feel like it's a whole nother podcast because I'm seeing it a lot lately.
He's all over.
He's all over because people are like, well, he's cleared. I don't want to be starting something with anybody now. Let's just get out there, you know?
I know.
Who are you? Who are you to not look at the man in the mirror and say, "Hey, we've got to make a change."
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who I can listen to. So
I
I'm
know.
just going to put on my peaky blinders.
Your Peaky Blinders.
And I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just read a brief that I'm sure has no problems with it.
No, I bet you that your brief will not be canceled.
Okay. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about LGBT. Let's talk about all the problems that can happen in a presidency. Let's talk about root canals. Let's talk about Supreme Court nominees making headlines before confirmation. Let's talk about Sam. Let's talk about West Wing. That's it.
Dang.
That's not a problematic song.
It's not a problematic song, but I'll tell you what's also not problematic is how you teed that up. You walked that all the way down. You knew this was coming. You knew you had an RAP sitting there behind the scenes, ready to go. Pulled back that curtain, and there we go.
Sometimes
Dropping
things
beats.
work out better than I could plan. You know,
That's
I
true.
honestly didn't even, when I bod with the bod, which I do not want to do, I didn't even know I was setting myself up for that later. That was just a little,
Yeah.
the universe working for me. It's also interesting because the show is from 1999, how prevalent gay rights are in the show.
Yeah.
Because I think it just seems so like, of course, in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously, there's issues that are trying to be taken back in the current administration, but in a lot of ways, you think like, of course, gay people can serve in the military, adopt children, get married, like all of these things. And that was such a huge through line of these whole 4 episodes. And I was like, gosh, yeah, this
Absolutely.
is really like a historical fiction piece. And it plays it in a way that, like, looking back, even though I was young, I was like, oh yeah, this is like middle school me feeling this. Like, this is like what the discussions were around, you know?
Yep.
So how things
pretty
can change.
Pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible. That was my
Pretty
biggest
incredible. Your biggest takeaway.
takeaway.
Well, why don't you hit us with some of the storylines that really stood out to you? And I have a lot of tidbits, some little tasty teases to give you about these episodes as well. And I'll give you, whatever hot takes I have, or lukewarm. We'll see, though. I don't know. It's politics. I'm usually pretty hot.
Hot. Okay, one of the first notes I have was how during this press conference that ends up being run not by CJ, but it ends up being run by our man Josh Lyman, because CJ has a root canal, which she is not able to go in front of the press. But their whole strategy with this is like they have a lot of bad stories and they're just going to flood it. They're just going to dump them all on the Friday news cycle because there's only so much column space. Which I was like, this feels like a strategy that is picked right from the show and is currently being used all the time, right? Like I am overwhelmed with news constantly. But the things that they want to talk about, it's like, okay, we have abstinence-only education. There's the 10 Commandments in Alabama wanting to be law. There's a Navy helicopter that went to play 18 holes of golf. There's a White House leak. Like there's a lot of things going on, and they just need to like flood the presses. Of course, this goes horribly wrong because Josh Lyman thinks he can handle it because he's a Harvard-educated lawyer, right? And he goes up in front of the press and he's snarky in a way that is not the way CJ handles it. He has not the finesse of our gal CJ.
No,
And
he's a regular Harvey Specter up there, completely flubbing.
Which I don't think I've ever seen Harvey Specter flub this bad. This was like Mike Ross in court day one. Like that's this flub. It was a big flubbler.
100%. 100%.
Because he makes this joke. It's like, oh yeah, the president has a secret plan for inflation, which is then the headline. The headline that everyone's talking about. Favorite part of this is the president, Jed Bartlett, says, okay, wait, so you invented that I have a secret plan for inflation and now you don't even support that secret plan? Because Josh is like, of course that's a horrible idea. It was like, oh my gosh, he just cannot even see. Like no one, like he just messed this up so bad. Also very relatable.
Yeah, I think for all of us, right? I do have a tidbit here about this already, if that's okay.
Oh, yes,
so
please.
the secret plan to fight inflation actually entered political dictionaries. Like it's now used as a journalistic shorthand anytime a press secretary or a spokesperson promises something that doesn't exist. So that made its way from Sorkin's, pen to basically the political zeitgeist and jargon that is used today.
I love that.
Right?
That's
Isn't that
so
great?
good.
It's also incredible that, you know, we talk about the impact that the world and like our current events and everything that's happening can have on television and film, but it's interesting to think about the impact that television and film can have on the world.
Yeah.
That this little like throwaway line and this idea from one episode is now something that is referred to all of the time. Like journalists who were not even watching TV at this time have been trained and know that phrase.
It's like jumping the shark, right? It's like a phrase
Yeah.
that people use, and they just kind of like, oh, the secret plan for inflation. But
Yeah. Do you know what Jump the Shark is from?
yes, it's from Happy Days.
It is. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't know that because there weren't a lot of sharks in the show.
Right. In fact, it takes place in what, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a ton of sharks there.
Not a ton of sharks.
Although
are
I've
not
been
known for
learning a
their
lot about
sharks.
sharks. We have a couple books about sharks we've been reading. They're all about like sharks fighting each other and like who will win, and they're very graphic. Austin
The boys
kids
are into
love
that?
them. Yeah. Oh, they're like, I'm voting tiger shark. Tiger shark will eat almost anything. Like, okay, you're right. We've read this book 7 times. I guess you're right. The tiger shark wins.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anywho, sorry, go back.
Any
Just wanted to
hoosey-boosies.
give you that little tidbit, you
That's
know?
a great tidbit. Thank you for that. Another funny thing was like this whole idea of the sex ed and how they do this. Like they want to have abstinence only sex education, which is also a wild concept to me because they have this whole study that they reference in the show, which I believe was real information and data that was floating around when I was growing up, right? But it's about like you can't just have abstinence only education because it doesn't teach people to have safe sex. It just teaches them to like not have good, like just it doesn't change the rate of teens having
No.
sex.
No. But that was
But I-
such a hot thing. I mean, just abstinence. Nobody have sex ever.
Is that what you had?
Abstinence?
No. No, Amanda, you have a double jointed jaw, okay? No. Did you have abstinence only sex ed?
Yeah, that's all we had.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all not?
We didn't. No, we didn't.
No.
They were like passing
was-
stuff around. We had this guy
don't
come in
ever
with a
remember that.
PowerPoint on STDs and then
I
passed
mean,
around.
they
like,
might
all
have talked
different
about it. I
protections.
mean, if anybody's listening that went to school with me, this is a real test to see which one of my friends from grade school are listening. I don't recall them doing a slideshow on STDs or passing out condoms or anything like that. I think I would have remembered that. That would have been kind of seared in my brain. So
Yeah. I feel like it's real seared in mine. You know? Like real, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ugh.
it was abstinence, and then, you know, this is your brain on drugs, like the eggs frying on the pan. Any questions? So that was it. You know, DARE was so hot to keep kids off drugs. It's like, y'all don't do anything. Seriously, kids, don't do anything.
Don't do anything
it wasn't-
fun.
And then also, yeah, don't anything fun, but also like, but if you're gonna do it, we're not gonna tell you how to do it safely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not really a safe way to take drugs. I mean, they are illegal.
Not all of them.
Well, I think the ones that we were dealing with. Also, I live in Texas, so
No, that's true.
everything is illegal except for a gun.
No, that's fair. That is
Yeah.
a fair. Have I told this story on this podcast about how I was walking home from middle school once and these high schoolers jumped out from behind and they jumped out from behind the pine trees and said, "Hey, do you want a cigarette?" And I was like, "Oh no, I learned about this." And I said, "No," and ran through the woods.
Right. The most alarming part of that story, the second time through, is that you were walking alone in the woods.
Yeah, but it was like not like the woods. But I was scared that they were going to chase me and make me smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Except for they were just pranking me.
They were just pranking you. They were just joshing.
Speaking of pranks,
Yep.
okay, so we have this White House leak, and they think it's the leak about, you know, this guy who's going golfing. It's
Yeah, and we're not talking about a water leak.
No, this is not a water
Okay.
leak. No.
Okay.
This is a leak, like leaking information to the press. Turns out this gal who's working for the VP leaked Leo's personnel file that had his information about his rehab to the press. This girl, Karen Larson, is also Paris from Gilmore Girls. Did you watch Gilmore
Right.
Girls?
Yes.
Okay, feels like a show you would love. Okay, I cannot believe this. Sam calls her into the office, confronts her, fires her on the spot. Leo then later calls her in. She's got her box from her desk. And he calls her in and he's like, just put the box down, and asks if she has any questions about it. Turns out her dad was an alcoholic. She doesn't even understand what alcoholism is and how Leo couldn't just have one drink. He would have to have 10, which was also a little wild to me that she doesn't understand the concept of alcoholism, but this is 1999. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel like people knew that that's what alcoholism was like on a broader scale back then.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always been like, oh, you can't control your alcohol, you're an alcoholic, and not understanding what's actually happening in the body. Same thing with obesity, people not understanding why can't you just eat 350 calories at lunch? I don't understand why you have to eat more than one. That doesn't make sense. So,
Right.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me that she doesn't know.
I guess it was a little surprising to me.
I don't
'cause
think
feel
some
like
people still
it's-
don't know.
I guess a lot of the things that were in this were just oh wow, this has become such a different culture since then, I feel like, or so much more information. But
Right.
maybe this was just at the time really helping people understand certain issues.
Yeah.
Even more wild than Karen not understanding what alcoholism was that Leo did not fire her. He gives her a second chance.
I know. What a good dude.
Would you?
I think it says a lot about his character and his leadership. Because
But do you think
she
that's a
did
good
what she
idea?
thought was no, probably not. But I can tell you right now, that girl's going to work real hard, and she's not going to do that again.
You don't think so?
And she's going to have mad respect. That's my opinion as somebody who hasn't seen it. I've seen it. I can't tell you whether or not she does it again or not.
I think she's going to do really well too. I think obviously Leo's going to make the right call 99% of the time, right?
Yeah.
I just thought that was absolutely wild. Oh, also just back to sex. I thought it was so funny that it's there's no sex till marriage, but there's also no sex ed until after the midterm elections. The president refuses to even acknowledge this report until after the midterms.
I know.
That's how hot button this is. No one, and he's going through the report and he's can't say that, can't say that,
Can't say
cannot,
that.
will not say this. And it's what is he not going to say? Body parts?
I guess.
Just
Because
a
it's
lot
not
of
like
big
it's not
words.
like there's a we don't have a Fabio novel in there. It's not. It's got to just be medical clinical terms,
Yeah.
right?
What do you think are some of the words he won't say?
I don't know. What do you think, Maggie? We had
I don't know, this is
abstinence
my
training,
deficit.
so we didn't learn. We didn't learn anything. I got to bounce it back to you up in that liberal state of New York, where they were just slinging rubbers in class.
They were just clitoris.
Oh my gosh! I gotta edit this out now.
You do not. You do not need to edit that out. That's a word that he might not have wanted to say.
Okay.
Anyways, 2026.
You'll say
Okay.
that, but you won't ball with the ball.
I did ball with the ball, and they ruined it for me, but nothing has ruined
They
the
did.
clitoris for me yet. Okay. Also in these 4 episodes is
Mm-hmm.
the deaf actress Marlene Martin? Marley
Matten.
Matten. Marley Matten.
yeah.
And she is
Are
in
you-
everything from this time.
Are you old enough to know who Marley Matten is? Was she recognizable to you?
I feel like she was in everything
Yes.
in the
She
early
was-
2000s.
She was having a moments.
She was at least either she's in here she plays this woman Joey who's a political strategist in California
Yes.
who they convinced to run for
Yes.
office herself. So she's a recurring person, I have a feeling, right? And we see her
I thought she was a
twice.
pollster. Is that the same thing?
Oh, I guess she's a pollster. She's a strategist. Are pollsters a type of strategist? Is it a square's a rectangle, but a
actually
rectangle's
have
not a
it-
square?
Yeah, I have a tidbit on this actually, I think. if we want me to just
Yes,
quickly interject it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she was originally written as a campaign manager, but Sorkin changed it because the writers liked her so much that they wanted her to be recurring, and so they retooled her into a pollster or a strategist so they could bring her back. Not to hint at anything, but this is not her last episode.
No, I see her twice in just these 4 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. They're gonna bring her back twice.
Yeah, she's great. I feel like she had like a. This is an episode where this is a. Excuse me. This is a show where she's a recurring person, and there were a couple that she was recurring. But I feel like during this time period that she was also in like one episode of every show that was on television,
Yes. Yes.
including Law and Order
Dun, dun.
and CSI.
Yeah.
And you know who else was on CSI?
Who?
Who was in these 4 episodes? Do you know?
Who?
The bodyguard for Zoe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Zoe's bodyguard was on CSI and CSI Vegas.
You're a big CSI fan, aren't you?
You know what? My depo for you is based on my love for CSI. And it is, what is a show that you have watched a lot of and like recognize all the characters from it, but you actually don't remember any of the episodes or any of the details because it was just a show that it was like in one eye, out the other. In one ear, out the other.
Well, what I was going to say is that Alias has a lot of people that Alias and Scandal, but I remember them. I remember the episodes, I think, that when I see people.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can answer the second part of it, like a show I saw so much, but then it was one in one eye and out the other. Because, I don't, like, I watch TV without a phone usually, unless I'm
Right.
taking notes. Like, I don't like spoilers. In fact, I was listening to a Good Hang podcast with our good friend Amy Poehler, and they were starting to talk about something. I don't remember which episode, and I realized I'm about to hear a spoiler, so I fast forwarded through the episode because I didn't want to hear the spoiler because it was something I wanted to read or watch.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how much I don't like spoilers.
And how much you don't like background. Like you're like, I'm watching this in my foreground.
Sure. I mean, all of these shows are better background shows now for me. Like Suits is a good background show. West Wing, now that we're recapping it, it's hard to be a background. It's got to be front and center, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Schitt's Creek is one of my favorite background
Oh,
shows.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think CSI I watched and I watched a lot of it. And then also Criminal Minds. I think Kyle and I watched every episode of Criminal Minds.
Did you really?
Yeah. And all these shows blend
Is that when you
together.
knew he was the one?
This was after I had already committed to him being the one. So it's just like more evidence of him being the one.
Okay.
Like I'd already committed. It was like, this is the one. We're married. I think it was like after we had MJ, and it was when I was just up at all hours. So we just have Criminal Minds on while I was nursing her or something.
That's great. That's great.
It's like really, I also watched Handmaid's Tale with all the kids because like a new season would come out
Come
when
out
I was
every
on
time you had a
maternity
kid.
leave. I was like, this is just great.
You're really cranking them out on the odd years for a while.
I really was. It was really, I was like, oh no, it's an odd year. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought that was interesting. Also, speaking of Zoe, I did not realize her and Charlie were officially dating in the
They
last
did
4
do
episodes.
a great job of
Yeah.
making it like, hey, they're now dating.
Right. They
It
just
just
like
sort of
hard
kind of
launch
happened
it.
after, well, they did Hard Lunch, which is interesting with her being in the spotlight and him in his role as well. I think it's like after Bartlett said you can take her out, then we were as an audience supposed to assume that not only was he going to take her out, she was going to like him, he was going to like her, and then they would be a couple. So here's what's interesting about the West Wing, and you will find this throughout your journey. Sometimes there's just a lot of storylines going on. And so they assume that the viewer is smarter than they're giving us credit for. And they just assume that we know this. There have been a few times where I'm like, are we supposed to know? Okay, we're supposed to know this. Okay, all right, here we go.
Okay.
So
That makes me
that's
feel
one of
better.
these instances.
That makes
There are
me
going to be
feel
a couple
better.
times where you're like, wait a minute, did I miss that? Did they already pass the law? Wait, what? And they just want you to make those assumptions, and they just assume that you know. That
Fill in
you
the
got
blanks. It's kind of like I wasn't in the meeting where it happened, but I'm doing a walk and talk with a person and I'm just keeping up. I'm just keeping up with
And
them
you're
on the
just
walk and
nodding
talk.
and saying yes, 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 even if you're like, I don't completely know what happened, but like, I'm going to figure this out.
I know enough. I'm going to figure it out. Okay. I'm excited about it. It does feel like a lot of pressure to have your girlfriend's father be your boss.
Yeah. And also that your girlfriend's father is the president.
An extra layer. Some might
Totally.
say an important extra layer.
The most important.
Okay. I have another bone to pick.
Let's pick it.
Sam.
You still don't like him.
I still have bones with Sam.
Okay.
Listen.
Let me hear it.
Sam has once again stepped over a line. He has,
Okay.
there's this guy on death row, and they thought he was going to get off, but the Supreme Court sends him to the death penalty. Sam is trying to get him off of death row. And so he calls Toby, he has someone call Toby's rabbi to preach a sermon in temple about like grace and not choosing violence and basically anti-death penalty while Toby is in temple during I believe it's like during Passover. It's like a holiday, is it not?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so this is like a big deal. And
That's not exactly how it happened.
wait, what
If I'm,
happened?
if I may correct you, he
Okay.
did not call somebody. What happened is somebody that he has known for years called him, came in to see him, and said, "Hey, this guy is going to get the death penalty. I need you to talk to the president." And he was like, "I can't do that." And he was like, "Then you need to talk to your boss, Toby." And he was like, "I mean, I can't do that. He's off." And he was like, "Well, talk to him first thing tomorrow morning." And he goes, "I'm not going to do that. He's probably at temple." He said it off the cuff. And he goes, "Which temple?" He goes, "I don't know. The one on St. Paul, or I don't know." And when he said that, then that old friend of his went and found that temple and then went to the rabbi. So
Yeah.
it slipped. Sam shouldn't have said it, but he wasn't saying like, "Okay, let me tell you where he's going to be tomorrow," and you didn't hear it from me. So it was not done with malintent initially. That's the scene.
Yeah. Well, that's the scene I saw. But then it seemed like there had been some follow up between that conversation and the rabbi because when Toby went
He
to talk
realized,
to Sam,
yeah,
Sam was
he
like,
realized it.
yeah, I did do that and I would do it again. It was the right thing to do. And Toby's like,
Well,
it was the right thing
but
to
I
do.
don't think Sam did it. I don't think Sam did it maliciously at the beginning, but then they flipped it and made it seem like he was like, "Oh, I'm actually fine with doing it." Because the way he said it, and again, just my interpretation, because I actually rewatched this scene to get it, because it's at the very beginning and like they're doing a walk and talk and they're coming into frame, so you can't hear all of their dialogue at the beginning. And I'd just taken a sleep gummy, so I had to, I had to get it going. And so I hit rewind specifically on this scene, and the way he said it was very off the cuff, like, "I don't know, he's going to be at temple, like somewhere on St. Paul." And it didn't seem like, I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying the way I interpreted it was not coming from a place of like, I'm in cahoots with this guy to,
I
but then
agree.
it ended up,
I agree. I think the thing is, Sam, this is like the at least third, actually, I think fourth major time that he has maybe not done something with malicious intent, but crossed a boundary with someone that he works with or crossed a boundary with someone that he's supposed to be friends with in a way that is not appropriate because he thinks he is the moral authority, or he thinks, well, that's the right thing to do, so no matter what you think. And he's got his little Sam fingers in all these people's lives, and it's like those should be on a keyboard, Sam. They should be writing speeches, not write an apology, maybe. Write an apology to people for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
yes, I hear you. And I wonder how anybody could just not like any character that Rob Lowe is playing.
That's fair.
Because
That's
Rob
fair.
Lowe is also another little Travis Tanner,
You think Rob Lowe is a Travis Tanner?
A little bit.
Do you hear that firework?
Yeah, it's June 26th.
Oh, people are practicing.
Oh, okay. So you guys celebrate every holiday real hard there.
What I have learned about Erie, Pennsylvania is if there's a holiday, people are going hard. especially if it's a holiday that's like a little obscure. You know, it's not like Christmas pageants. It's not that. It's
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day leprechauns coming to everyone's classroom. It's 4th of July fireworks starting at the end of June.
That's interesting. Hey, do the neighborhood kids call your husband, my brother, Mr. K?
They do.
Okay. Because I did get a call today from a 5-year-old who's not one of your children. She is a neighbor of yours. We had a good conversation about pie and when I was coming to visit. And she told me that there's a game that you play that if you get on the hammock and you touch the ground, then pie has to go in your face. And I
We
said,
don't
when
play
did
that
y'all
game.
get?
It did. It did.
Okay, well, then this child made it up.
No, they
And I
did
said, when
play
did that
that game, but we as in
Uh,
me, I don't play that
Don't
game.
play that game. And I said, I only want to play it because I want to eat the pie. And then I said, how did that start? She goes, well, you know Mr. K, right? And I said, yes. I was like, okay. She goes, Mr. K put up a hammock on Father's Day. I was like, how great of Kyle to get a hammock for Father's Day and then have to put it up.
I
But
put
she's
up
like,
the
so Mr.
hammock.
K.
She watched me
Oh,
put
did
up
you?
the hammock.
She told me Mr. K put up a hammock.
Okay, we did get it for Mr. K.
And so, yeah, so I just thought that was really cute that they call him Mr. K
They do. And they,
because they call you MJ's mom.
yeah, but I'm trying to correct that. I don't respond to
Okay.
MJ's mom now anymore because it was
Okay.
too stressful.
Okay.
It was just too hard living a
Are
second
you just
life.
trying to do Maggie?
I was like, I can only respond to Maggie or mom.
Okay.
Yeah, they also specifically
Anyways.
asked to call Aunt Nana. So
That's great. I loved it. I loved seeing that. I didn't talk to my niece. I just talked to your 5-year-old neighbor.
yep,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We do holidays big here.
Yeah.
Anywho, I mean, there's other things that are important that happen. Like Mendoza, the judge who's the nominee, is in trouble because he's spoken out against something that the president has done. Is it the LGBT hate crime law? No. Is that what he spoke out? No, it's an apology. Mendoza wants an apology from a politician who called another politician racist. And so he's in trouble in the news, but then he's in more trouble because he gets arrested while driving through Connecticut. And he's just going antiquing with his family. And they see he's drunk
Yep.
driving, but he doesn't drink because he has a liver condition.
Yeah.
This man.
Yeah. Okay. So the former White House press secretary for Reagan and Bush, his name was Marlon Fitzwater, Bush Sr., publicly said that, first of all, he hated the Mendoza arrest plot because he said that the idea that the staff would secretly extract a Supreme Court nominee from a Connecticut jail was so absurd and it broke his suspension of disbelief. Because otherwise that episode is like very widely praised, but he did not like that one. So
It does seem a little far-fetched. It seemed like a little like we gotta get this point in here to talk about it. And I think it could have probably been done another way.
yeah, I've got a couple other fun facts if you're curious about them.
I do. And then I have one deposition for you. But I want to hear your fun facts first.
No, give me the dippa. Let's do it.
Okay, CJ gets a root canal.
Yeah.
Her mouth is real. Which
Yeah.
made me think about tooth surgeries.
Yeah.
Have you had your wisdom teeth out? And or have you ever
Yeah.
had a root canal?
Never had a root canal. I've had my wisdom teeth out.
When?
Well, I was living in my first house and I had started the comedy club, but I hadn't sold the house so that I could continue to pay for the comedy club. Sometime around 2008 or so, my, our friend Raymond and Lee was living with me. She was my roommate at the time. So I specifically remember that very day. I won't tell the whole story, but it did. It was on a Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you for not telling me any other details than it was on a Wednesday. That's very good.
Yeah. I'll tell it to you offline.
Okay, it must be real juicy.
It's a juicy, juicy one.
Juicy.
Yeah. Have you had your wisdom teeth out?
I did. In high school. I feel like that's a more common time to get them out.
And you still have them, correct?
I have them somewhere. I couldn't find them the other day, but I do have.
So, listeners, if you
have
didn't
them.
know this, Maggie loves teeth. In fact, I don't know if it's actually ever come up, but Maggie is like known in our friend group and like wide beyond just the friend group of somebody who really likes teeth. and so she keeps them. So she's got a collection of teeth, probably her children's teeth, right? Do you have them?
MJ keeps losing them. She keeps taking them out to like look at them and then dropping them, and we can't find them. So my house is littered with teeth.
Teeth.
Yeah. I do want to say it's not that I like have ever just like loved teeth. It's just I kept all my baby teeth. I hid them and I would keep them.
Right.
And then so like when I was in my 20s and Facebook was around, my mom brought me all my children's stuff, and I just so happened to have a photo that I posted of like a bunch of human teeth because I thought it was really great that I had them all. And then people were like, wow, Maggie just really loves teeth. And I've leaned into it because the more people tell you you love something, the more you start to, you know?
Yeah, it becomes your identity.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I've like always been a tooth head, but I am now.
You know what? Lean into it.
I do. I do. Okay, that was my depo. I thought it was great when CG had her root canal and couldn't talk. It was just so funny.
Yeah. She got a lot of praise for that particular episode.
Do you think she had to
because-
just talk like that? Like just like do the acting, or do you think she had prosthetics?
She won her first Emmy for that.
For root canal?
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
It's considered some of the funniest physical comedy in the series. She has a couple other times where she does some fun physical comedy, but she did a great job.
She's
you
so
know?
great. And it is a comedy.
It
If
is.
The Bear
Yeah,
is a
as you said.
comedy, The West Wing is a comedy. For sure.
For sure. For sure. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of other things really quick, just so you know. Let's see here. Martin Sheen earned his first Emmy for Take This Sabbath Day, which is also when Allison Janney won her. It's the same episode. Oh, no, he earned his first nomination. He didn't win. He lost to James Gandolfini for The Sopranos.
Which I also
And did you know
haven't
that he was nominated? He was nominated. I haven't seen either. Neither one of us have seen The Sopranos, so I think you guys know what's coming next. Martin Sheen, he was nominated 6 times across 7 seasons for Bartlett, and he never won. Can you believe that?
Why?
That the most perfect president never got an Emmy?
It's probably because they didn't want to mix entertainment and politics.
That's probably right.
They were like, we shouldn't be giving out Emmys to people that are our president.
Yeah. A couple of other things. Hate Crimes Prevention Act that they talked about was actually signed into law by President Barack Obama on October 28th, 2009.
Barack Obama took a lot from The West Wing.
Yeah. Well, they said that Sorkin was kind of like willing that bill into law before Congress could actually get to it. Like he was writing it. So he did it, and he passed it on the greatest day, October 28th,
Oh,
2009.
yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thanks, Barack.
That was a really special episode so they have the parents of the young man who was killed there to stand behind the president when he signs this hate crime law. What is the name of the mouthy assistant or the mouthy consultant with the short hair? What's her name?
Mandy.
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 That's right. Sorry. Mandy
Kelly.
is like the dad's real quiet, and everyone's like, "Oh, he must be so embarrassed to have a gay son. He must be just so embarrassed." So they tell CJ, like, you got to talk to him when they get here because we can't have someone who's so embarrassed be standing by the president. And she's talking to him, and he's like, I actually don't support the president. So you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But he's like, I don't support it because he's not going hard enough. Like, what do you mean my son wasn't good enough to serve in the military? What do you mean my son isn't good enough to adopt a kid? Like, all of these
Right.
things. And he's just like giving it to her. And CJ is like, okay, wow. I was shocked that they were like, we can't have him do it because he can't go out to the press and say those things. I was like, this is really, really a different time. But is it? I don't know. But it just felt very like,
know.
it felt so long ago that
Yeah.
that they would be like, we can't have him saying that kind of stuff. Like, what?
I know. Well, who knows what they would say now?
Who knows? But I hope that we've come further than that
I would hope.
as a whole.
There's another thing that the press has adopted. You know, we had the secret plan to fight inflation is something that the press now, has adopted. They've also adopted the take out the trash day. Like they've had the Friday news dump or trash day, but now it's called like take out the trash day. So it's one of the most like quoted pieces from the West Wing by actual journalists now.
I love it.
Isn't that wild?
I need to remember when it's take out the trash day too, because I often forget. And then it's more like, oh no, rush! I hear the garbage trucks. Take out the
garbage
trash.
truck.
You know.
That happened to me. It happens to me not as much because I remember, but bulk trash.
Bulk
Have I told you
trash.
about my last bulk trash
No.
incident? Bulk trash here in Dallas is never on time. You will put your stuff out on the first day that you can put it out, and it'll be sometimes 2 weeks
Yes.
before they pick it up. Okay? It's awful. And then the neighborhood just looks like a bulk trash. It just looks awful. So I was cleaning up my beds, my garden, my raised beds, because I've been working on creating this garden. So there was a lot of just junk. I had the bags from like Home Depot that are the trash with the big brown bags, and I had like 8 of them, and I still needed to put together a couple of more. And it's very hot here in Dallas, so you've got to get out and work in the sun until like 8:30 or 9, and then you're going in. I had my 8 bags sitting out in the backyard by the beds, and then I needed to bag 2 more things of stuff. And I heard that truck coming around the bend, and I was in like a sports bra and shorts, which is not normally something I'm running around in the neighborhood in. And I just busted open the gate and ran to the front, and I did this. And I saw, lo and behold, here comes that truck on time the first day. So I go running back, and I run 8 bags of trash while luckily everybody else had put all their trash out. They had taken out their trash, just like the press. And so as I was throwing down the last 2 bags, literally my heart rate's at like 155. I am dripping sweat, and I throw them down, and the guys had watched me do this, and they start clapping because I have entertained the shit out of them
And you were in
by
your
running
sports
back
bra.
and forth. Yeah, and I don't think they were. I think they were clapping for like, "Good for you, brave woman."
They're like, there's that double jointed jaw broad lady.
I mean, Maggie sprinting like I was trying to make an international connection, which I had to
Incredible.
do like a few weeks before. And that's when I realized I don't need to be a runner because I need to enter races. I need to do it for like bulk trash day
Yes.
or making a short connection. Like when you need to actually have to run and not die and carry things. Like I need to be running, practicing carrying a carry-on or a bag of bulk trash.
Backpacks,
I have literally, and thank goodness I didn't trip or anything. I mean, I was sprinting.
It never
Tuesday
comes on
morning, I'll never
time. I
forget
can't
it.
believe that.
It never comes on time. I was like, oh, I'm going to put this out today. I was leaving for a trip for work the next day. I was like, it's going to be fine. Like, no.
Wild.
Wild. Anyways.
Well, speaking of wild, do you have any more wild facts or tidbits from these 4 episodes?
Well, here's what's interesting. Yes, I do. And I'm not going to share them with you because they all lead into and give you teasers or they're like Easter eggs for things later to come. And so I'm unfortunately not going to be able to do that right now.
It's because I didn't
know.
mention something. It's like I should have mentioned something and then you would have been able to share a tidbit with me, but I didn't. So now if you
No.
shared it, it would be like, oh, now she knows it's important.
No, there's some stuff in there that is said and some little plants of things, not actual plants. They will make themselves known later, and I don't want to reveal that because I'm adamant about no spoilers
Okay,
for
that's
you.
fair.
Even though this is a spoilers podcast if you have not seen The West Wing yet.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm glad you're not spoiling it because I do want to maybe take a trip.
I would love to, just like a quick little one.
Okay. Well, let's
Okay.
take the speed train.
Okay.
Now stop. Prediction time. All right. I think something that the president makes a big deal about, which we didn't really touch on, but he makes a big deal about it at this fundraiser in LA, that he is
Okay.
not going to allow for a bill that like is anti-LGBT. Like he would not sign it no matter what. And it's like if I even make a speech about it, like that's going to make it all like it's going to make a big tizzy. I have a feeling a bill is going to come across his desk and he is going to have to not sign it
Okay.
about this very issue. I feel like that was a big foreshadow.
Okay.
He's going to have to take a stand.
Okay.
I feel like he just like they're not taking many stands at all in the presidency unless they're like forced into it or unless someone like Lee is about to leave the room and then they say something to the president and then he's like a big zinger. Like, oh,
Right.
we don't talk about our enemies. So I feel like they're going to have to really like pick up their stances if they're going to be elected again. And these midterms are coming up. And like, what are they what are they going to do? They have a secret plan for inflation. Is there going to be a crash? Can you imagine having a president who's an economist, a Nobel Prize winning economist, and then the economy crashes?
Wild.
I predict something of the sorts will happen, and he'll have to really get out of it. Long-term prediction, I think that they will lose the midterms, but he will win re-election.
Okay.
Because I think if it's going to be a realistic show, that needs to happen.
Okay.
I think CJ and Danny are going strong, which I like. I also like the Joey and the idea of Joey and Josh. I like that idea, although she is with someone who is kind of a loudmouth political operative person as well. But I think that I could see a hookup coming. The polls are in favor.
The polls are in favor? Okay. Okay.
Let's see. Mendoza still has not been confirmed. And I think it might be a tough confirmation because he's got lots of strong opinions. But I think they'll eke it out if they can get it done before the midterms. You know, those are my thoughts.
It's interesting because these midterms are coming up quick in the West Wing, and we have the real live midterms coming up.
That's true.
You know?
Do you think
Interesting to think about all the things that
midterms
have to
happen in
get
season
done.
one? I guess the midterms have to happen in season one. They're almost there.
You know, you've done this to me a lot. You used to do this when we were doing Suits, when we were recapping Suits. You would ask a question as if it was like part of a conversation or like confirming, more of like confirming something. And it looks to the layman who doesn't actually know what's going on that I'm being rude and not responding.
Yeah.
It also probably looks to them like you're just being casual, but I know what you were doing. And you are trying to get me to give the down and dirty, to give me the hot goss, to spill the tea.
It's true. You caught me.
And I'm not going to
Sue me.
Sue me. Sue me. All
It
right.
worked in second grade to get my teacher to spell all the spelling words.
That's fair. Can you spell that for me again?
How do you spell that?
How do you spell it again? Thanks so much for tuning in. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you don't know what to say in your review, you can say, I vote for this podcast each and every election. Go vote. Get out and
My
vote.
elections. My election selection.
My election. This is my election.
Election.
Bye.